So today in this video we'll talk about the dynamic analysis of the Android application. So as you know, we in the last video we saw the static analysis, how we can conduct the application when it is not running, like it is in the rest mode. It is not. We saw how we are checking the source code for hard coded. So video will see how we can check for the version in the app is in execution phase. So when the application is running, so what all things that is vulnerable, what components are vulnerable, we will check in the dynamic analysis. So for the dynamic analysis, the set of tools that we need is Genymotion, Kali Linux, obviously, then ADB tools to communicate with the Android virtual device, traffic. Now, in place of Genymotion, few of them can use Android Studio, which is also a great tool. Apart from the Android Studio, you can also use the appetize.io, which is also, it's a very good tool you can check. So let me show you this tool. So for me, I'll be using the Genymotion, which I am familiar with. So if you plan to use any other thing, like you can use like appetize.io. This will provide you the similar look and feel of the Genymotion. So it gives you the uh, virtual device. Also simultaneously, you can also run the Android APK Studio. So based on your needs and your uh, comfortability, you can use any of these tools. Now, yeah. Okay. So here, as you can see here, APK Studio, you can download it from the GitHub. This is a very good content available here. Now, appetize.io is also you can install. So here, now I'm running Genymotion. So let me close this. My Genymotion up and running. So this is the device which is up, and I have also made the burp shoot on. So as you can see in my previous videos, I have talked about how we are setting up the proxy, intercepting the proxy. So I have enabled the proxy here, and also enabled the uh, Frida to bypass. So here, as you can see, I have my Frida server is running, and also I have the Kali machine where I have uh, here I was just trying to run the package com.duolingo application that I have installed. So I'll show this to you, and uh, yeah. So now, so this all things has been discussed in the earlier video, so I'm not going to repeat in detail. Just thing that to recall.
Okay, so let me download APK. So let me download Naukri APK. So now I can go to the up down and download this Naukri APK. Getting the latest version. Okay, Naukri APK is downloaded. What I'll do is I'll just drag and drop to my uh, Android virtual device so that it gets installed. I'll just drag it to the Android virtual device. So now, as you can see, it is successful and all, and it is now trying to open, but however, it will not open, right? So let me first, okay, mm, just try to log in, uh, get anything like email address. So let me give anything, get a password of 123456. So login. So if I click login, you'll see there's nothing being getting intercepted. In fact, it says, oops, something went wrong, try again after some time. So this is probably the SSL bypass, so it is not getting bypassed here. So in order to do that, as we have to bypass the bypass the uh, SSL. So what I'll do is I will uh, make the Frida server which is running. Then I'll have to look for the packages. adb shell adb shell list packages -a. So I'll have to search for the package for Naukri. Um, p modules.login. So this is the package name of the um, particular Naukri APK. Okay. So now what I will do is I'll bypass the package here. So let me go to the path where my script is there. So let me go here. Go to my Kali machine, particularly here in the desktop, a mpt in this folder. I have the script file and the Frida server. So I'll bypass the SSL by using this frida.js file. So let me give the package name. The package name is oh, Naukri app dot app modules dot login hyphen l, and then I'll give the universal script file name, and then I'll bypass. So as you can see, it is currently spawning and it is also bypassing the SSL. So now if you see the Android virtual device, earlier we were getting the error messages. Now if I try to login, now instead of error messages, the traffic is now appearing here in the um, now the interesting thing now that you can test is like as the traffic is getting captured, now you can see the post request, post header, and username is login email, true password. Now you can do a brute force on this application by sending into intruder, and you can pass multiple payloads here for the username or for the password. You can do a brute force. Along with that, you want to send it to repeater, go to the repeater. You can check for multiple passwords here, and you can try to send request, observe the response, and then you can play with this. It says invalid user, right? So now here as it says message invalid user phone or format found, so here we can tell that the user enumeration can be done. So we can search for a particular user, then brute force the password and all. So this is like uh, as I open the this is the one way of checking or doing the analysis of the username and password, where you can bypass the authentication and then gain the access of the particular user. You can brute force the login functionality.
So now what I have done is I have logged into the application in order to gather the number of endpoints so that I can show you all to you, like what is actually we want to do in the dynamic analysis. So this is basically, I want to show you how we can look out for the endpoints, how we can look out for the user inputs, and how we can look for the parameters, uh, look for the sensitive information if there is anything revealed, look out for the fields where user input is required, and we can hit it with the number of payloads to check whether there is a vulnerability. Now let's mm, let's hit or call the applications and check what all the things we can. Okay, here we can search for jobs, if any location specific. Bangalore, Bangalore. So you can search for the jobs, and results from Bangalore is appearing. Okay, now we have other stuffs. Saved jobs, profile preferences. So now the data might be collected here. So yeah, we got the uh, endpoints here. Now let's look at some of the
self activity level. Okay, so there's a post request. This might be the one from the location. Okay. Like when we try like OS mobile top 10 vulnerabilities, we will be looking into that one by one, and we will check how we are doing analysis on the applications, how we are trying to enumerate the users, how we are trying to bypass the authorization, how we can see for the data leakage. Suppose here it is a post request, and you can see there is a response here. In the response, if there is anything that is revealed extra, or like apart from the intended information, if there is information or sensitive information leakage is there, then probably we can report it as a vulnerability. Also there are areas where the parameters or the values that is being passed method, we will see if there are any parameter going here as it says here. Suppose here the user parameter, if it is passing for an example, we can change, and we can see whether there is an operation bypass is happening and all. So we can have a look at that. These are the ways how we can do the form on the dynamic. Okay, so now we will check for additional stuffs. We can check for the sensitive data that is in the rest. So probably we'll have to go to the application folder. So let's go to this application folder now. Okay, so let me go to the command prompt now. I'll do a CLS screen now. What I'll do is I'll just go to the shell of the device, ADB shell. Now I'm inside it. So what I'll do is I'll go to the CD data, then I'll do a ls. So here these are the list of packages. So now particularly I want to go into the uh, Nokri uh, folder, or inside the Nokri package. So I'll have to do a CD and then enter into the package, and I'll do a ls. So now as you can see, these are the list of packages, that are being present. So all are like a directory, as you can see here inside this particular module. So few things to consider is data that is being present on the shared preference, where that can be present also is databases. We can also check out the files. Now let me get into the shared preferences and check out if there are any sensitive information. Okay, so here as you can see, there is list of files. Okay, so there are a few list of files here that has to be considered. There is network settings preference file, login preferences. Okay, these are the XML file. So let's look into the preference file, login preference, what it says. Okay, so as you can see here, it says about the session and time. It also talks about the interruption. Okay, initialized string name, status. Okay, blacklisted events. Okay, but sometimes in the login preferences also there would be some values related to the lower level privileges or admin level privileges. It happens sometimes. Even sometimes they will be having a particular value for the user profile, wherein they will be having a user profile as a user value. So you can modify it to an admin, save the file, and check for the user privileges. Sometimes it happens when you change it. So from a low level user, you get escalated to an admin level privileges. So that is again a very uh, critical vulnerability, right? So now there are also a few things that you can also take on the settings. So you can also modify the settings file. So let me clear it and look at on the now this is the global setting shared preferences. So now I will consider about the Naukri setting preferences. Okay, so these are the settings file. You can also change, or you can look out for parameters that you can feel as critical, and you can play with this. Okay, now moving back and we'll see other. Uh, okay, let's look into the databases. So CD databases. So here is all the information database, all the database structure that you can see here. Naukri.db. So let's you can use the this DB file with your SQLite and you can check for the data that is being stored in these databases. So again, when the device is rooted, then only you can have a check on this particular files until and unless you cannot get these files. Now there is a files. Let us go into the files. Files that is being present. So these are like cache files, AF request cache. So you can also check for the cache files. So in the cache, you can at least you'll get to see some sensitive keys. Okay, this is okay. Okay, so now as of now there is no cache in the particular folder. So if there are anything being cached, then you can probably see those files. You can check for the sensitive parameters or like sensitive keys, API keys, or the secret credentials, usernames, user preferences. So probably you can check for those stuffs inside the cache files. Right now, let's move back. Okay. So this is how you can check the information when the data is at rest. So here we are able to check the information values when the application is not running, or we are able to check the files structure of the APK when it is at rest. So okay, now